You cannot carry out fundamental change without a certain amount of madness.
Welcome to Pan-African Lifestyle, where we rep the motherland. We post content regularly and invite you to subscribe and share. If you're a pal, that's a Pan-African Lifestyler.
I'm here to try and encourage you to take up a leadership role in public service in your country and on your continent. Your country and your continent need you. Not later, not when you're older and more experienced, but now. We all find ourselves in exactly the same boat. The political landscapes in my country, in your countries, and on our continent are truly lacking in good leadership and political talent. That fear convinces you of the urgency of the point in history that we find ourselves in today. The best chance that our countries have, not just for survival, but for lasting prosperity, is if our most talented citizens step forward and make themselves available, either for political party leadership or for public service in government. Smart, entrepreneurial, highly skilled, talented, experienced young Africans like yourselves, and millions more like you across the continent. Everything I say today will be in service of a single objective. What can we do with our skills, our talent, our experiences, our education, and our passion for our countries and for our continent? I know that most of you, if not the vast majority of you, are completely fed up, turned off, discouraged, disgusted by politics, either in your country, in this country, all over the world. Perhaps you are discouraged by the fact that governments are slow to deliver, perhaps they're inefficient, perhaps they are thoroughly corrupt and rotten to the core. There is a reason that our governments are not performing as they should. It's not just because of a failure within the system. Consider the political economy of conflict and corruption in your own country. Why is it so difficult to overcome? Who is making money or amassing power because things don't work the way they should? Where does the buck stop? Who has an incentive to keep the system dysfunctional? You have to get involved. There's no way around it. You have to join political organizations in numbers large enough to influence change from within. You have to actively seek to take up a leadership role in government, in the state, in the public service. There will always be government, whether we like it or not, whether we find it palatable or not. But there won't always be democracy. Your country and your continent need you.
The more I thought about it, the more I realized the need for genuine discourse amongst ourselves as the African youth, and as well as to the youth, to our elders. The countries that we wish to imitate in the name of civilization, they protect their cultures. They protect their cultures so much so that sometimes they won't even render someone a visa to come into their country sometimes if someone doesn't have competent knowledge of their language, right? I ask and I beg for us that we ought to question how we plan on painting our walls as Africans with our walls with self-determination and self-actualizations as Africans if we're not teaching our children where they're fully coming from in order to equip and catapult them. As recently quoted by the late Kumla Dumar, until a lion learns how to write, the story will always glorify the hunter. And I believe we need to realize that we make the fight for progression as a people, as an African people, twice as hard, again, if we do not teach ourselves. I've heard that the telling of a story is known to increase one's emotional intelligence by double the percentage than that of simply releasing facts to someone in the hope that it will influence them and change their mind. Now, the media and the arts is used to reflect a people, who they are, where they come from, what their struggles are, their aspirations, their failures and successes. It's about time that we teach our children our African stories written by us and taking it seriously as we ensure to teach them the stories of others. Continuing the movement of African storytelling, the making, the broadcasting, and the distribution, all intentionally so as to teach ourselves who we are and also teach the rest of the world who we truly are, and not just what seems to be dictated by the global media of what Africa is. What we teach our children, how we teach them, and whom we allow to dictate our realities to us as a people are the ingredients to releasing Africa's potency further.
We have been told on numerous occasions that what we are trying to do is nothing short of crazy. The gaps that we have to cross are tremendous. But we have been consoled by the words of former Burkina Faso President Thomas Sankara, who in a 1985 interview stated that you cannot carry out fundamental change without a certain amount of madness. It comes from nonconformity, the courage to turn your back on old formulas, the courage to invent the future. It took the mad women and men of yesterday for us to be able to act with clarity today. We must dare invest in the future of Africa. I am of the belief, granted the obvious of course, the situation that Africa is in regards to being the last virgin market, the notion of industrialization by any means necessary, as it happened for the first generation of emerging markets, does not have to be Africa's reality. Conversely, our shops and malls do not have to become mere economic brothels. This term, Africa Rising, coined by asset managers abroad, looking in on Africa's market potential, must be understood in exactly that context. But Africa is rising, with a growing middle class and a wealth of resources that is fast making it a viable market for a new generation of multinationals that have previously paid it no attention. Africa's challenges are extraordinary. They always have been. And within the context of our modern history, empowerment has always happened through unconventional means. By addressing today's challenges unconventionally, Africa has the potential to build new ecosystems. I cannot help reference the popular saying, "The last shall be the first." As Africa, being the least economically developed, has the chance to take the harsh lessons learned by the East and West about what socio-economic development really means. My generation, Millennials, that is lauded as and claims to be the final one to incur substantial change for future African generations. Will we sit on the sidelines once again and let our discourse be decided by the status quo economic powerhouses? Or will we intentionally support our youth and young people with the skills to create new ecosystems that can grow to compete globally?
Thanks for tuning into Pan-African Lifestyle. Share your thoughts in the comments section and follow us on TikTok and Instagram at Pan-African Lifestyle to be inspired. For awesome PAL merch, check out panafricanlifestyle.com/shop. Keep repping the motherland.